A question we come across time and time again from our community members, coaching students, and even in casual conversations with aspiring musicians is how to write a good intro. We have spoken many times about choruses and hooks on this channel, but these do not make a whole song. And we need a catchy intro so that the listeners actually stay until that great chorus or hook.
Today we are looking at 3 common ways to start a song, and we are using no other than twice solos for our examples. This album was not just a beautiful gift to once, but also features some excellent examples of great intros. So let's jump into the first way to start a song.
We often talk about topline hooks, but instrumentals can be very catchy too. We hear this in instrumentals built around a hooky melody, so it is of no surprise that these tracks would reach for the same melody as their intro. We hear this on a number of songs from 10, The Story Goes On.
In My Room starts with a dreamy melody. The song wastes no time and goes straight into the verse, which slowly builds up in arrangement until the high energy chorus is reached. While this approach may seem rather simple, it is not always easy. Starting with a single core element would mean mistakes cannot be hidden, making sound choices incredibly important here. Notice that the sound they utilize in My Room is processed to give it a unique and intriguing tone.
Another track which starts with a melody is Move Like That. The intro gradually builds up by adding bass, breathy percussion, and effects, and then subverts expectations with grand chords at the very end. Still, the arrangement is fairly minimal here, leaving plenty of room for energy buildup. Once again, notice the processing on the lead sound itself. Heavy distortion, as well as a so-called sidechain effect that creates a pumping sound, all of which helps to create intrigue.
Another track which takes a similar approach is Chess. The melody is no other than Feu Elise, which the listener is most likely already familiar with, making Chess an extra catchy track. While the vibe is very different from Momo Solo, the arrangement here is not too different, with bass, percussion and effects supporting the main instrumental hook. And while Chess is a fairly minimalistic track, we still hear more layers later in the song, meaning the intro serves the purpose of being intriguing without being overpowering.
Diving also takes a similar yet different approach. The melody here is a lot more of a supportive element, once again processed with distortion for some additional character. However, the most upfront element we hear is the drums. As you can tell, the drums make for a rather high energy start. Yet, you would easily notice the chorus is much fuller with the added chords and extra elements. And speaking of chords,
another approach to making an intro would be to use the other bass elements of an instrumental, the chords. We often hear this in R&B inspired tracks. Halfway through, we have drums and bass come in and a vocal riff which, as we would later find out, directly references the chorus topline.
Coming back for more, addicted to me, ATM.
This is a great way of introducing the chorus to a listener without giving away too much too early.
Often, the chords would be supported with a melody or an ARP. Me go straight into the chorus of the song right after. What is interesting here is that the bass does not come in until the B chorus, meaning the energy is not built up too much early in the track and leaving a lot of space for contrast and development as the song progresses.
Many songs are also built around arpeggiated chords in some form, with guitars being a very common instrument choice here. We hear this in Fix a Drink, a classic guitar pattern with a melody on top. A very rich intro melodically, but with plenty of space to grow as we go.
Similarly, Decaffeinated starts with a guitar pattern and a very soft vocal chop-like melody on top. With drums and vocals, which once again allude to the chorus, this is another full intro. However, we're sure it is of no surprise that the song develops a lot more as we go. We hear an even fuller arrangement in the A chorus, while the B chorus, which features the intro vocals, switches things up with a halftime section. This keeps things extra interesting as the already familiar intro elements now appear in a very different context.
But what if we want to make things extra surprising?
Stone Cold starts with a soundscape which instantly builds a scene, and one of cinema and horror, we would say. We hear a plethora of sounds here. A heartbeat-like pattern which speeds up, a string sample we often hear in horror movies, a voice sample coming from an old phone, a vocal riff, and a glass-shattering sound. At the end, we hear a vocal line with cool processing, similar to how the chorus ends later.
Why you being stone cold? One by one you're stone cold.
But this is not the only element from the intro which appears later. The vocal riff is one of the ad-libs we hear in the final chorus. And we also hear strings in the B chorus. What an intro! It instantly sets the scene and grabs our attention, but the repeating elements keep things coherent.
As you can see, there are many great ways to create great intros, and none of them will be the same thing twice.
And if you want to hear how we made a track in the style of Twice, the one you have been listening to all this time, do watch our miniseries.
If you want to know more about making great intros and whole tracks, join our Discord community for our free monthly masterclasses. See you over there.
As always, huge thanks to our Ko-fi supporters who are making these videos possible, and see you in the next video.